Yeah. What?
My little baby.
Okay.
Change your bracelet.
Okay.
There's a hook break.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm at work.
Yeah.
If you want that.
Okay.
Is your rope, yeah. Be precise, yeah. My little baby. Change your life, yeah. There's a hook break.
Hey man, y'all know what it is, bruh. It's Cartier King, man. I'm here with the fellas, and this is the ITL.
Yo. Let me adjust my vocals on that shit. Hey, this shit hard. I'm judging by the hook. This is definitely Lil Baby, right?
Yes, sir.
There's another one though. I think he's from Charlotte. It's called he's called Da Baby. That's the nigga that was on the porch, and somebody tried to come to his video shoot and G-check him.
Nah, I ain't seen that video.
He held it down, bro. He was solid, but his name is Da Baby.
He said, I'm the baby.
I'm saying he from Charlotte because he had on the
Charlotte
jersey, but I think he was in Atlanta standing on the porch.
Oh my God, you didn't.
Nationwide, introduce yourself. So I didn't even let you do that shit. Go ahead.
Nationwide, Nate.
A man, a few words. That's why I just kept going. You ain't had shit to say anyway. As Cartier said, welcome back.
Welcome
Episode 93. If y'all can't tell, Cartier's hype because he back from Atlanta. He was as me and Nationwide was here in Ohio surviving snowstorms. Cartier was in Atlanta
making snowstorms,
shopping his mixtape. Shopping his mixtape. He heard Future was doing a press run.
Yeah.
So what the record label's talking about, bro? What they saying?
Hey, they said, you know what I'm saying? It ain't no 360 deal, no wild shit like that. But, you know, they just need to hear my my next little EP, man, and we rolling.
16 ain't enough.
Nah.
they need more than that.
Yeah, they need a few more bars, but I got them.
Before I continue, I'll say happy birthday and happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day, all wrapped in one. Happy birthday also to Stevie Jr. Is he a junior?
Shout out to the doctor.
Is he a junior?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Let me get that right. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Happy birthday. Stevie Jr. And then happy birthday, Al the Third.
Catfish Nuggets. What up, boy?
Man, I need a junior behind my name.
Nah,
or I need a doctor in front of it.
Yeah, I think that'll be a little better. It depends on how you look at it.
So, how was ATL, bro?
Man, it was a movie, bro. That's the only way I could really describe it. It was 3 days of nonstop bottles and hookah smoke.
So, damn, they had you in the studio, nonstop bottles, hookah smoke. Did you record something?
Just videos. just straight videos. I ain't get to make no new tracks, B.
Wait, be careful of saying you recorded videos in the studio, you know. we don't need no docs.
Hey, I ain't do none of that.
Nationwide, bro, how did you spend your surviving of this snowstorm of whether it was coming or not? Because that shit had me in the middle because I wanted to go to my brother's house to see the Broner fight, and we'll get into that motherfucker later. But
on God,
we'll get into him later, but I ain't make it because right as like 7, that's when it decided to snow and ice. So how did you spend your?
I was chilling, bro. Sat on the couch.
Do you do anything else
off the couch? No, not really. But yeah, chill. Watch games all day, Saturday and Sunday.
I'll say normally when there's like inclement weather, what I do is I use this time to catch up on a bunch of movies that I missed, and primarily it's been 90s movies these last 2 snowstorms. And I watched a movie. Have y'all heard of it? It's called A Few Good Men.
Mm-hmm.
I know it sounds like a porno, listeners, but it's not. It has
boy. What you talking about?
It has Jack Nicholson in it. It's the movie with the iconic line.
Yeah.
If you want the truth, you can't handle the truth.
Oh yeah.
But during that dialogue, he said something that had me thinking because it was real interesting. Listeners, if y'all haven't seen the movie, what it's about is I guess you call him somebody in the military, a cadet, who they set up to do a code red, and they end up killing him because he couldn't cut it in the military. So Jack Nicholson is on the stand, and they wanted him to confess that he sent the code red to kill him. But he said something on that whole monologue when he said, we have the luxury of not knowing the truth. We have the luxury of not knowing everything that goes in. And I want to know from y'all, do y'all want to know all the ins and outs that goes on in this country? Like, would you want to know if a motherfucker is really trying to kill you on a day in, day out basis?
I mean, hell, y'all want to know if a motherfucker trying to kill me?
Like, say if they said, all right, 9/11 was really aliens and we did some Men in Black shit and brainwashed y'all to make y'all believe it was a plane. Why would you want to know that?
Yes, I absolutely would want to know that, because if our government was behind that shit, you talking about over 3,000 lives that died, and then it's been a war for what, fucking
He said
2001,
aliens.
so we're, 17, 18 years in of a nonstop fucking war where it's a lot of soldiers dying daily.
So, question, because, I mean, if you would want to know or whether you won't know, don't want to know, it's just a matter of preference. But question, if you have that information, now that you know, what do you do with it? What do you do with knowing that our government was behind it or knowing that aliens was behind it?
I mean, it's nothing that I could do as an individual, but I think we could, the people as a whole, I think the motherfuckers whoever, like Bush was still in office during that time, that we would have got him the fuck up out of there somehow.
But again, he's just, I guess, the figurehead, but not, I guess, the one that's really pulling strings. Like Scandal.
So now we going into Illuminati.
No. I'm saying, like, if all of that was real, it's all speculation. But like Scandal, if command was real to where the president really don't run the country, it's all ran by Papa Pope.
It's ran through Olivia, B.
Right? Would you want to be in the know of all of that?
I mean, you would like to. I think everyone would like to know what actually goes on, because people already know, like, it's powers bigger than even our government. You know what I mean? It's like, 7 families that control like 95% of the
So
money.
you're saying the Rockefeller.
Yeah, the Rockefellers and all them people. So people, like, if you dive deep into that shit and you believe in Illuminati, you know.
There's
like,
so much information out there that you can always find something to support whatever you're thinking.
It's some shit you can find, period. Like, even though it's not being reported on the news nightly, you could do your research if you really want to know that shit.
There's a few things that makes me think a lot of that stuff is true. Number one, before I go into that, I don't really think I could live my best life if I knew all the ins and outs. Some of the stuff is like, all right, hide it from me. But I really don't think Hollywood is that creative of writers. So I really think they take experiences that they know about and then write a script based off that.
I've been saying that forever.
You know what I'm saying? So it ain't like, oh, I'm just pulling out the sky that there's aliens running around and there's Area 51. No, I think all that shit is legit.
Oh, it is. Facts. I believe it.
So and then the other one I watched was the Fire Festival documentary, and I'll talk about that a little later as well. But that really just shows that the Instagram world or the social media world is a preferred reality than actual reality. The illusion of being somewhere major and being in a happening place will take over your better judgment because you want to be in the know and you want to be in what's happening. So
I mean, the more information you know, just the better you can handle things. I think that's what it comes down to.
Are you talking about like with the government stuff?
Yeah. I mean, just in anything.
Do you think there's like the luxury of not knowing though? Do you think that's a real thing?
It depends on what kind of stressor you are, and what causes your stress. If you're the type of person that worries about like zombies coming and the right wing, like, you know what I'm saying, getting radical and then it's about to be this big race war or some wild shit, then yeah, it might stress you out. But I'm more of a person that, if I know what I know, I'll use that information to my best benefit. So yeah, I want to know every fucking thing.
Okay. So you got some homework then.
What's up? Oh, yeah.
To just do a deep dive. I don't know. Like Nationwide said, information's out there. Whatever you believe, you can find something to support that shit. But in sports news, this past weekend we had 2 NFL games that went to overtime, and we're going to start with the Saints versus Rams. Nationwide, do you think the Saints blew their chance to get Drew Brees to the Super Bowl?
No, the referees blew the chance to get Drew Brees to the Super Bowl. Like, you could have called like 4 different penalties on that play. I mean, everyone know the play we were talking about, the PI, the helmet-to-helmet contact, the face guard, whatever the fuck you want to call unnecessary roughness. There's like 4 different penalties you can call. Had the ref thrown the flag, the game was essentially over. They could have kneeled the ball 3 times, kicked the field goal, The Rams probably would have got the ball back with like 15 seconds left or some shit like that.
Boom.
So I mean, we know refs miss calls all the time. It's part of the game, but you hate to see that type of call get missed. It was blatant, it was obvious, and then we watch football all throughout the regular season. We see less egregious fouls get called all the fucking time where the defender barely touched a receiver or whatever.
Yeah, and that's wild. Like you said, it's kind of how that was a point of emphasis this year, and that was the thing where people were complaining about all this defensive holding.
Right.
So for it to be the exact opposite of that is what makes it even worse. And I just think what it comes down to for real is that it was a scrubby ass dude who was out there running that route. If that was Kamara, if that was Ingram running that wheel route, or Mike Thomas, Ted Ginn, any of those people, you get the superstar call, which you don't need the superstar call in that situation, but I guarantee there's a late flag that comes out.
Okay, so you're saying like there's no way they'll let you hit.
No way they let you hit Mike Thomas like that. I don't care if it was on time.
Yeah, he got shut down.
You know what I'm saying?
Nate, while I don't disagree with you that penalty should have been called, there were multiple opportunities after that to win the game. You get the ball first in overtime. You have the opportunity, and when Drew Brees won that coin flip, I thought that shit was over. You have the opportunity to march down the field and rise above that. So if you're the coach, if you Sean Payton after that, how do you bring your troops together and be like, they missed the call, let's get refocused and let's go win this game? They had multiple times, and it goes both ways. I remember in rec league when I'm woofing at a referee, and he said, how many shots you take today? I said, it don't matter, man. You blew a bunch of calls. He said, how many shots you take today? I said, I took about 10. Did you hit all of them? I was like, no, I didn't hit all of them. So he said, so if you wasn't 100%, how you want me to be 100%? And again, this is blatant and obvious. So you want them to make this call, but they also missed the face mask on Jared Goff. It goes both ways. They kind of even themselves out, but the Saints still had multiple opportunities to close this deal. So I do think it's a missed opportunity. I also question why Sean Payton had Drew Brees on the sideline on a couple of those plays. One of them was a fumble handoff. Like, why are you bringing in your backup to kind of overthink yourself?
Nah, they've been doing that all year. They've been using Taysom Hill as like their wildcat quarterback. And I mean, his true position is a quarterback, but he's like 6'2", 240, so he can run the ball.
The game too important, bro.
Bro. But you can't really say
it's been working.
He scored their first touchdown.
It's been working. So
Taysom Hill, he caught the screen pass and took it for like 3 or 4 yards.
Game too important at that moment, and I get it. They Eagles ran the Philly special in the Super Bowl, so your trick plays work.
It's been working all year.
Yeah, that's the hindsight 2020 type of comment, which I understand where you're coming from, but
I'm not gonna bash the coach off that. And like you said, calls are missed. Game typically evens out over the calls typically even out over the course of a game. However, that call you cannot miss. Like I don't care. Like that was a blatant every fucking thing. You know
Absolutely.
What I mean? Like,
now, what do you think of the league owning up to it was a missed call? If you're the Saints player, what do you do with that?
I mean, it ain't nothing you can do about it because, like you said, you did have opportunities to still go out and win a game, and you failed.
Have they owned up to it publicly or just to Sean Payton?
Like, I think it's like their version of the last 2 minutes,
well,
right? The last 2 minute report.
Well, supposedly I guess the head ref over the referee association called Sean Payton and admitted to the blown call. I don't know if they came out publicly.
Yeah,
but
it's public. He gave it to Sean Payton, and Sean Payton.
But we don't know if you get what I'm saying. There's no statement the NFL has not made a statement.
Yeah, they haven't made a statement saying that.
But they always release the reports on Monday.
Yeah, I highly doubt they'll say, with further review, this wasn't passing the
Nah, but they said it without saying it. You know what I mean?
Release reports every Monday, and they haven't done it this time.
Right, true, but they have said it without actually saying it because the next day we're gonna review or we're gonna talk about reviewing PI calls.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they know they was in the wrong. Like they know the refs fell in that predicament. It's unfortunate because you look at the last 2 years, the Saints had a team that was good enough both years to win the Super Bowl. Last year when Marcus Williamson, who missed the fucking – all you got to do is tackle him. You know what I mean? Prevent defense, tackle him, you win that game against Minnesota. And then this year – you know, you had your opportunities to win down the stretch and you didn't finish the game. So you don't always have opportunities to come back from that. And so it may be wasted opportunities these last 2 years of not getting the job done. However, I think they have enough good young talent to they're going to be right back.
They got enough Buckeyes. That's the real deal.
Speaking of though, I think the Rams' game plan on Mike Thomas was a good one. Like it seemed to have worked. He didn't seem to be the factor that he was in the previous games.
Well, and that's why they initially signed Dez Bryant to be that second option. He tore his Achilles.
What'd he tear, bro?
His Achilles. But I think that's going to be something that they look at this offseason. They know they need a second option to help, free up Mike Thomas.
Niggas been counting me out.
Stand up if you the middle child, cuss.
I'm writing down names, I'm making a list. I'm checking it twice and I'm getting them hit. The real ones been dying, the fake ones is lit. The game is off balance, I'm back on my shit. The Bentley is dirty, my sneakers is dirty, but that's how I like it. You all on my dick, I'm all in my bag. As hard as it get, I do not store powder. I might take a sip, I might hit the blunt, but I'm liable to trip. I ain't popping no pill, but you do as you wish. I roll with some things, I love you to death. I got a few mil, but not all of them.
What better way to punch in than to punch in with Cole, right?
Shit happens.
Had to fix that buzz and shit.
Just like Lebron, get my niggas more chips. Just put the rollie right back on my wrist. This watch came from Drizzy, he gave me a gift. Back when the rap game was praying like this. They act like two legends cannot coexist. But I never beef with a nigga for nothing. If I smoke a rapper, it's gonna be legit. It won't be for clout, it won't be for fame. It won't be cause my shit ain't selling the same. It won't be to sell you my latest little sneakers. It won't be cause some niggas slid in my lane. Everything grows, it's destined to change. I love
Yeah,
you
so
niggas, I'm glad that you came.
straight out of hiding to Kanye, straight at Kanye's neck.
Straight at his neck. Yeah. Hey, straight at his neck. Yeah.
You
Hey.
playing the whole thing?
Nah. I can go ahead and bang that out.
Sorry, Cole.
Hey. So if anybody don't know, Cole dropped a new song at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on January 23rd. That's what that was. It's called Middle Child. Go play that shit over and over and over and over again.
He already got my approval because he came in with bars for Ye.
Right. He still at his neck.
I'm not even going to begin to try to dissect because that ain't what I do, but he came in with bars for Ye. I did catch that. But when he say two legends, that's obviously what him and Drizzy.
Nah,
It could be a lot of people, man.
I think he was saying like Drake and Kanye could have coexisted together, but y'all motherfuckers want to act stupid kind of, and Kanye, you tripping.
Oh, okay. And it won't be because one of these rappers came in my lane, so was that Travis Scott?
Nah, that was at
Travis
Kanye.
Scott and Ye? I'm saying like Travis Scott and Ye.
Not even that. I think he was saying like Drake stepped in Kanye's lane as being like the best, and Kanye threw a hissy fit about it.
Double entendre because it could be Travis. What's his name? Travis Scott too. Yeah.
Boy, you don't even know that motherfucking name.
I was about to call him Travis Cole. Shout out to Cole World. But anyways, back to these fucking Saints nationwide. What I really want to know is not necessarily the Saints, but the 2-minute report. Are you a fan of just doing that and putting the refs on Front Street? I guess you really don't even still get a face or a name to these refs. I guess you get a name, but you don't get a face. You don't know who the hell they are. What is the purpose of the last 2-minute report for NBA and an NFL releasing their report on Mondays?
I think it's pointless because we watched the game. We know what happened. We know y'all missed the call. We don't need y'all to come out in a minute.
That's a good point because the people reading the report are not the people who didn't watch the game.
Right.
Like, why would you care to go read if you didn't watch?
Well, I guess it's just accountability. You know what I'm saying? We know who Ed Hockley was. You know what I mean? So that definitely can assist with knowing which refs is which.
You can't
I don't
pick
know if
Ed
y'all
Hockley out of a lineup.
You
though.
crazy,
like,
bro.
Like,
look for the muscles, B. But what they were saying is that it's ironic that the Rams fans were boycotting this crew because they're 0-8 anytime that they've reffed their games, and there was some egregious amount of calls that went against them compared to the other teams that they were playing. So this crew pretty much won them the game, and it's just wild.
all right. So the refs blew the call. Still a stretch they won them the game. But as a result of all of this, they're now saying, should we review non-call penalties such as the pass interference call? Do you think we've got to the point to where those type of calls need to be reviewed?
Absolutely. I mean, why not? You know, I think that what they need to do is they need to kind of take the power out of the refs on the field's hands a little bit they can have somebody watching the game from New York just like we watched it, but with more angles and more knowledge of the rules. So if that's the case, there's no reason that person shouldn't have already have a decision made and say, hey, this is the right call. They should be able to make that call before the guy gets to the sideline.
So you're saying the play happens, it's not called, so then who gets a call to say, all right, stop play?
New York buzzes down.
But I'm saying, like, who would they buzz down to?
The on-field ref.
Yeah, they had like pagers.
No. I know it can happen, but I'm just saying a play happened.
Yeah.
We're moving on to the next play, and in the middle of an offense trying to do a hurry-up offense or whatever, the whistles are blown, let's stop play, because I got a buzz to check a penalty that wasn't called.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of – that's what they do in college football.
Okay. I think that is disastrous
Why?
to call uncalled penalties, to review uncalled penalties. Because if you say, all right, let's stop play, let's review uncalled penalty for this pass interference, now you got to have somebody watching the trenches because maybe there was a hold that wasn't called. Then you got to have somebody watch across the field because maybe there was an offensive pass interference. Maybe there was another penalty downfield that nobody saw. It's not just let's look at this one play this one area of the football that wasn't called. You got to look at the entire field if you're going to review uncalled penalties.
But let me say this. I understand. I wouldn't necessarily say all uncalled penalties, but as of right now, pass interference was the topic. I do think that if you do pass interference alone, that does isolate it, and it's a play that's normally in the open field where you can see if there was pass interference or not clear. And like you mentioned, the offensive line play and grabbing jerseys and things like that and holding, I mean, yeah, that would be really hard to go through and review it, and I think you do leave that, with the human error if there is some.
Well, no, I'm just looking at the standpoint of, all right, I'm a coach. I challenge the fact that pass interference wasn't called. And they go review and they say, okay, prior to him releasing the ball, the lineman pulled the defense end down. So flag on offense.
Well,
So it's
I
I think it just slows the game up. It always evens out. I don't think we need to review penalties that wasn't called.
Well, it's something that it's too subjective of a play. And not only that, it's going to open Pandora's box if you start calling PIs or being able to review PIs and let's review holding. Let's review this penalty or that penalty.
And it's only reviewing defensive pass interference.
However,
What I'm saying?
I wouldn't say that.
No.
Yeah.
However, I feel that the helmet-to-helmet contact should be reviewable just as it is in college. Because if you
But that's if it's called, right?
No, they can review it if it's called or
Okay.
if it's not called. So if that was something that was implemented in NFL, that play would have been reviewed and they would have called that.
Should it be on upstairs to stop the game, or should a coach get a fourth challenge flag to be able to challenge?
No, I think you
another
leave.
play?
I think you get at the upstairs.
Judgment calls, I think you can leave to upstairs. But all other things that have pretty much how they are now could stay the same. That's just a option. I don't know if it's the best one, but I think that I just think it'll improve the game. Same thing in baseball where, the actual ball being hit as a home run or a foul, that's reviewable now. You know what I mean? And that's a judgment call. So
foul or fair?
Yeah.
Foul or fair isn't a judgment call.
If it goes over
Like
the
over
pole,
top of the pole.
yeah,
Gotcha. Okay.
that's reviewable in the NFL also
Like for field goal.
for field goals. Yeah, so I mean it's okay to do some judgment calls, but if it's egregious, obviously those are the ones that you'll actually review.
That you want to get back.
Yeah, that you want to be able to change. Or if you don't want to do that, the refs just need to be trained to throw the flag and you could pick that motherfucker up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure that's how they're trained now. I don't know, but that might be the best option.
Can you imagine the stoppage of play if non-penalties are reviewed and they come from upstairs? If it's not on the coach to stop the game, that's every single play that the booth would be like, we saw something.
Nah, but
the booth would be like, we saw. That's every play.
If it was up to the booth, they would only look for those egregious.
Have you ever seen something this egregious, though? So we can't overreact. It is an overreaction. I mean, you've never seen something this egregious.
We've seen a few, pass interference calls that, bro, he didn't touch him. we're not gonna review a PI to where they arm fighting each other.
Because like
he
even
might have got pulled
with Tom Brady in his game when they called that roughing the passer,
which wasn't.
But from the ref's angle, he thought it was a missed call. He can't anticipate the call, as they say. But let's not stop the game and review that.
But the thing about it is that there's not that many more reviews. Like, I've never watched a game and thought in the NFL, man, this game is going slow because of reviews. So if they're really good refs. I'm not saying that. So if there was one or two more calls that would review the game and it was the right call being made, I think it's worth the time.
So you said something there. If it's one or two more calls, but how do you specify what is going to be a non-call reviewable play?
Again, I think it all goes back to,
is it where the ball is?
No, it's more so. I mean, that's a really open-ended question. That's kind of saying, like, you know, how do you know that that's going to be a catch or not? We don't know until the play happens, but we all have eyes and we all have brains and we all watch the same football game.
But you know, if you want cheese on that burger.
But I know that you funny. But I know that majority of the viewers agree that was PI. Even, you know what I mean? And even if you have referees that are watching the game from New York and you say you have a panel of them, I don't know, 2 or 3 of them shits, and then they decide as a group decision, this was the call. You know what I mean?
So maybe last 2 minutes.
Maybe. There you go. I mean, I'm not saying what I said earlier should be set in stone, but I think something should be added to the rules. I mean, why not improve the game?
If you're a Saints fan, you absolutely want this to go into effect. If you're just a fan of a team that's not even in the playoffs, you don't really give a shit. I don't want to see non-calls being reviewed all game long. Maybe the final 2 minutes, I'm with it. But all game long, no, it'll balance out. It'll even itself out.
And
by the end of the
then
game.
I'm not worried about, like, even if you want to review it all game long, get the call right. I'm concerned with you getting the call right.
But I'm saying, like, it's not that simple to just say, no, we're going to review. Like, how do you narrow down what is a non-call reviewable?
If you're in the booth, you're only going to review those plays that's clear and obvious.
Says who? Because if I'm on the sideline and my player just is at a disadvantage, I want you to review it.
I understand that, but Jay Will, all plays are could be considered, oh, I want this, I want that. But some plays you have to acknowledge are clear-cut wrong.
Every turnover.
What's clear to Nate may not be clear to Ed Hockey.
Okay, every turnover, every fumble, interception, and even touchdowns, every turnover and touchdowns are reviewed. They don't necessarily stop it. They don't stop the game because if it's clear and obvious, there's no need to stop.
I'm going to ask you about,
already stopped.
Can I ask you about 3 plays?
The game is already stopped on a turnover.
Okay, if in that
there's
play,
still extra time though.
In that instance, when he got tackled, essentially, New Orleans went back to huddle. That gives the booth enough time to review it to say, oh, we need to stop this play and look further into it.
There literally can be maybe 20 more seconds added to the game, like real time.
But if it's something that's, you know, that's not decisive, then we're not going to stop the play. Let's play ball. We didn't see nothing clear enough for us to stop it and look further into it.
Because, Jay, well, check this out. Let me ask you about this. All right, so if we can get yes or no answers, I'm not trying to convince you or make you seem like one way or other. Do you agree that the play was missed on the PI?
Absolutely. 100%.
Okay. Now,
how many replays did you need to see before you knew it was missed?
1.
All right.
That's enough time.
Okay.
That's that. And then, like, the Raiders versus the Patriots years ago with Charles Woodson and the Tuck rule and Like, on that play, did you think that, let's say the call was missed and it should have been Raiders ball?
Hell yeah, it should have been Raiders ball.
And then let me ask you about this other one. So Julian Edelman, this last game against the Kansas City Chiefs, AFC Championship, the whole thing where the ball could have touched his glove, but it didn't. You know what I mean? Now that play, do you agree that was one of those ones that's like
you said
close?
The punt return.
The punt return.
Yeah.
Like, do you agree that wasn't obvious?
That wasn't obvious at all. No.
Right. So I'm just saying is that there are levels of clarity, and I think that if you have the plays like the first 2 examples, it's like, yeah, those is where you really want to implement this. But the Julian Edelman thing, like, if it's that kind of close, you just leave that one alone.
Now, my whole point is that when you are reviewing something that wasn't called no flag, to say, all right, we're just going to look at this particular part of the play because this is where we do the flag, you can't necessarily specify what you're going to review in that moment because if I'm the Rams head coach, try convincing me that my defensive back on the other side of the field being pushed down don't matter.
It doesn't. Because that I get what you're saying.
But I'm saying, like, if I'm the coach, it does matter to me.
I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I get what you're saying.
My right tackle being pulled, it does matter to me.
I completely get what you're saying, but that's how reviews are already operating. Like,
but I'm saying,
if you're for example, if you're reviewing a catch, we're only reviewing this catch. We're not looking to see if the offensive receiver pushed off the catch the ball.
But again, that is something that's called. It's a ruling on the field that they're reviewing. Now we're reviewing something that wasn't ruled on the field, and you're going to try to convince somebody else that, hey, that offensive pass interference don't matter.
Right, but the open interpretation under my new set of rules would be taken out of it because you would only be able to do PI.
Or non-call PI, basically. So you would say the only reviewing pass interference where the ball went.
Yeah.
So nothing, no holding prior to. Hey,
yeah.
I don't like.
To be honest, I don't think that's going to get implemented because, like I said, it's too much, like, interpretation, too much opinion. It's a subjective call. So I don't see them actually going through with reviewing pass interference calls.
So moving on to the this fucker Tom Brady and the Patriots versus the Chiefs. You know what? Patrick Mahomes, he been a bad boy all season, but this game really showed me the gift that this guy has, because he didn't fold when they went down early. Like, he stayed with it. As I put in the group chat, I wish he had the ability to check down and check his own audibles and stuff like that. But he a young quarterback. They just say run the play. But when Tom Brady won that coin toss,
it was game over.
You knew it was game over.
It was game over.
You knew it was game over.
And I'm not, again, the referees, made their self obvious in this game as well. You call a personal foul where Tom Brady didn't get touched in the face mask, but just like the possession before, same thing happened to Pat Mahomes, and they didn't call it.
Yeah. Well, that Tom Brady roughing the passer.
Yeah, the roughing the passer.
That worked itself out because he threw a pick.
No, that
possession he threw a pick. That's why nobody was crying about it.
Yeah, because I said ball don't lie.
Ball don't lie.
I remember texting that. Ball don't lie. But, yeah, so, Tom Brady's a bad boy. I don't know what else to say.
I've been denying calling him the GOAT for the longest.
I hate the Patriots. I hate Belichick, but you just can't deny them as a fucking team, bro. You talking about, what, 13 straight AFC championship? Or, no, 13 straight division, like first place in the division, 9 straight AFC championships, and then this is their 3rd straight Super Bowl. That shit is greatness, bro.
So, wait. This just popped in my head. Are all 3 of us sellouts because we are?
No, it's still fuck the Patriots.
We're thoroughly enjoying these NFL playoffs, and black people are not supposed to be watching.
Oh, I ain't never said I was boycotting. I ain't never said that.
So I'm talking to my brother yesterday about throwing a Super Bowl party, and he talking about how he takes that Monday off because the Super Bowl is like a holiday for him. And I said, so are you saying fuck Kaepernick because the Super Bowl is a holiday? He was like, I mean, yeah, fuck him. I didn't tell him to kneel. People just,
oh shit. He couldn't even have it in himself. Like, no, I ain't say that. I'm just gonna watch the game. He said, yeah, fuck him.
But anyways, Cardi, are you ready to give him GOAT status, Tom Brady?
Oh, no, not really. I mean, he's exceptional. He does shit that a lot of people can't do. But, a lot of his production comes from being put in great positions and opportunities. So,
absolutely.
I understand that, preparation, opportunity creates success. But, having a good coach definitely contributed to him being a great quarterback. Now, that's clear cut because in college he was just an average dude that was just suspect, So it's like, yes,
that's the equivalent of what, like, one of those, but you was lame in high school. Like, it don't matter. He's 40 plus now.
I mean, he's GOAT status.
I get it. Nah, but I mean, talent and success are completely different things. Like, you could be the greatest player and have shittiest teammates and never make the playoffs in the NBA or something, but, bruh.
This is kind of hard to argue.
I know.
Bro,
no, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying is that when you say if somebody's the greatest, it depends on what your
Who you got ahead of him?
category is for that.
I mean, he's had a great coach his entire career in Bill Belichick. But however, you can't take credit away from Tom.
But bro, let me tell you why you can't take it away from him, but you can bring in other examples to show my side of the argument. Like every backup quarterback that has ever played in that system has looked fucking awesome.
What, Jimmy G?
Jacoby Brissett, Jimmy G, Matt Flynn. All those guys were exceptional.
Can you name like
He didn't make the playoffs. Matt Flynn
Not
was
Matt
Packers
Flynn.
though.
I'm thinking about
Yes.
the other
I
guy
can't think of his
that
name,
went
too.
to Kansas
Yeah,
City.
Can you name one other Hall of Famer that's played on Brady's offense besides Gronk and Randy Moss?
But no, you can't. But the thing about it is that's because the system is so good. If I'm hitting all these people that are open, yes, he does make difficult throws. I'm not discounting him or anything. I'm just saying, but if the system is designed for anybody to be successful, trash as people included, then yes, you have to acknowledge that the system is awesome. And the system is credited to the coach under any other circumstance, including this one to me. I understand that you have to have a guy to run the system, and he knows the system better than any other quarterback that's ever come through that system. So, yeah, bruh, he's great.
I mean,
But I'm just saying, based on pure, like, talent, there's other guys that can do what Brady can do.
I don't know, man. Like, Belichick is the greatest coach in NFL history. Brady's going to go down as the greatest quarterback. We've seen, like, system. We've seen a lot of Patriots assistant coaches, offensive coordinator, D coordinators go on and get head coaching jobs, and they weren't worth a damn other places. So, and a big part of that is because they didn't have that damn Brady throwing the ball.
We need that cat.
Like,
got-
for real.
When you get done, I got something for that.
Very early on in his career, he was a game manager. Like the first few years, first couple of Super Bowls, he's a game manager, and you just seen him continue to develop and grow his career and his talent to where he's the fucking best quarterback. It don't matter what group of receivers you put around me, I'm still going to be effective. We're still going to be in first place and competing for Super Bowls. Like, he's fucking awesome. And I hate to say that because I hate the Patriots. I hate Brady. But that motherfucker is good.
But the awesomeness, like I said, bro, is it. What you call it? Went 11-3 or something. The dude that went to the Chiefs.
We can't think of his name. Yeah, he
Matt
went,
Castle.
He went 11-5, but they didn't make the
11-5.
playoffs that year. Which
Yeah,
is
that
weird
was an
with
odd
11-5.
year
Yeah,
I mean,
because
but
there's a lot
whatever.
of good
Still,
teams.
11-5,
11-5
bro.
typically gets you in the
And-
yeah.
But okay. All I'm saying is that what you said about what did you just say about Brady before? I said I got something.
He didn't have great receivers.
I said I got something for that.
No, I had said talking about how
He didn't have,
referencing the coaches who went other places
Gotcha, okay.
and
Oh.
failed.
Yes. So the main thing that makes there's two parts to the Philadelphia, the New England Patriots system. Obviously, there's play calling, player selection, and player utilization. They have a lot of unique things that aren't at any other team. First, let's start with the scat back type of receiver. You know what I mean? The slot guy, the Julian Edelman, the Wes Welker. Nobody can utilize those guys like Bill Belichick can. So pretty much that is an extension of his run game. You'll never see that anywhere else as effective as he has it. And then the other thing is he uses his running backs as receivers also, which other teams are starting to adopt like the Saints. Now, also, he's great at letting guys go the year before they get this huge contract. So he's able to maintain talent levels unlike other teams because Brady didn't take the super max contract deal. He let go of Richard Seymour before he got his super max crazy contract and let him go to the Raiders. So therefore, they always have money to get guys that fit the system that are good pros.
Yeah, they're the smartest ran
but
organization.
All
period.
of that definitely bigs up Belichick, but I don't think that's also a detriment to Tom Brady.
I'm not saying that's a detriment to Tom Brady, but I'm saying is that's why those other coaches aren't successful because they go to teams with super quarterbacks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or super contracts. So it's like I just think all this factors in. And yes, Brady is great because he was able to maintain his health and do all of that even after injury, sustaining the ACL joint and the ankles. So it's like Yeah, bruh, he's great. But just based on pure talent, he's not the greatest quarterback to ever walk the face of the earth. It's a bunch of guys that can do what Brady can do and better.
I disagree.
I disagree too.
I disagree too because it's. I disagree too. With my idea. So,
I disagree. He said, I disagree too.
Jay-Z and Hov.
Never fails.
It's only one quarterback doing that. You know what I mean? Year in, year out. And it's other great quarterbacks, Drew Brees, Big Ben, Aaron Rodgers.
Drew Brees is better.
But they're not doing this year in, year out.
I get
Brady.
it, but I think Drew Brees is the better quarterback.
All right, hot take. Super hot take. It's hard to say because Drew Brees didn't close the deal against the Rams. Like,
Bruh.
you just had evidence.
Again, bro. It's not. It's.
I know you're looking at capabilities.
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
I'm looking at Madden ratings, bro. I ain't looking at fucking championships.
But speaking of this past Sunday in the Patriots versus Chiefs game, would you have liked to see Patrick Mahomes get the ball back and go down?
Oh yeah,
in
man.
overtime?
I hate these fucking. I mean, overtime rules are the rules, and we know that. But if you want to improve the game, we have to fix those overtime rules. I think they should go the college route, but they start at the 50-yard line, not the fucking 25. Make a team work to actually score the ball.
Especially because the field goal kickers in the NFL are professionals, and they kick it for them at least, on average, 10 to 15 yards longer.
Yeah, so I would love to see both teams have an opportunity to touch the ball.
The other thing that, too, besides just the straight up, you get the ball once, score, we get the ball and do what we want to try to do, is let's create a one overtime period. You play that whole motherfucker out. You know what I'm saying? And then if you run out, then it's sudden death from there on. Which I understand you may be only want to implement. You maybe only want to implement that in the playoffs.
That's like hockey.
Yeah,
kind of like hockey, and there's no golden goal. Kind of like
hockey, it's even because they play the overtime period and then they go to shootout.
Yeah, exactly. So
full 15 minutes, or would you condense it?
You could do 10 or 12. Probably bump it down just a smidge.
Hold on, bro. 15. Wasn't the overtime periods 15 in
the normal season, regular season? No,
these past 2 weekends, like the overtime games in the conference championship.
Yeah,
the regular season is 10.
Yeah,
probably because
so why the hell do you got different overtime rules between regular season?
I can
and
explain that. They talked about that
because
there's so many games going on in the regular season
that they can't.
It was only one game on.
That's stupid.
But so they, the networks are like, y'all can go over, but the networks in the regular season are like, no, we got our primetime shows. That's what they explain.
Not even really primetime shows, but they got the next game to show.
So
if it's the early game.
Yeah. One thing that's interesting about the overtime rules, because as fans, we definitely want that change. I like the college overtime, or I even like what me just suggested of play the first quarter out, and if it's still knotted up, then sudden death. But from a poll I saw on Twitter, and clearly they weren't talking to players that just got finished playing this past weekend, but who are not wanting the overtime rules to change are the fucking players. And basically what they're saying is that the exhaustion that comes with playing those extra minutes, it takes a toll on the body. You dead tired after the game. Sometimes you need an IV, and they just don't want that wear and tear on their bodies.
Think about it like this,
but
Johnny.
I'm pretty sure in the playoffs they will want it. That's why I don't think they talk to anybody that just finished playing.
Yeah.
So those that are watching are like, hell no, I'm not trying to play another 4 quarters.
I would say this. Think about it like this. Like, say every day you run, 2 miles, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you like, all right, I know exactly how my body gonna react to these 2 miles.
Mm-hmm.
And then somebody like, hey, bro, just run one more. You look at them like, man, kiss my ass, bro. Like, like I ain't got time. First of all, I ain't got time, and my body ain't used to that, So I guess if you plan to get to the Super Bowl, you will be like, all right, let's run this
going.
one more mile,
Yeah.
But I could kind of understand, especially if you're not in that moment, why you're like, no, I'm not running an extra mile.
Yeah, it's like, fuck it, it's over.
Yeah.
So now we have knotted up for the next week, the matchup, the Rams versus the Patriots. We're not gonna make picks today, but I do want to know from you guys. Damn, Biz. I do want to know from you guys, what do you think the Rams would need to do to be successful in beating the Patriots?
Show the fuck up.
So number one, soon as they get off the bus, start tackling Tom Brady.
They need Todd Gurley up and running at 100%.
Pretty much, man. What
You didn't go to the obvious, Nate, that I thought you was gonna go to.
It's Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald, right? I thought that's what.
Bruh, they can't nobody block them.
Brady get the ball off too quick.
You're not
Dante
gonna-
Fowler,
saying he-
Aaron Donald, and Ndamukong Suh about to go New York Giants on that ass.
You're not gonna get to Brady, and more than likely it's gonna be hard to stop. I'm not saying it's impossible because we've seen the Giants do it twice. I'm
Hey,
going with Ty Gurley because the longer the Rams have the ball, and he's running it down their throat.
CJ
pause,
turned into a beast though.
or even CJ,
Yeah.
both of them, the two-headed monster.
That's bowling ball.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
Yeah.
for real. But the longer that they're holding on the ball, that means Tom Brady is on the sideline. Try
that's
to
100% true.
limit their opportunities.
Yeah.
So both of those things I think is going to be key. Honestly, man, for all of the New England haters, actually this Rams team might match up better with the Patriots due to the fact that they have intense linemen, savages, and Ndamukong Suh will kill the guy across from him, literally, probably. Aaron Donald is the best defensive lineman in the game, probably the best player
Talking
in his
about
position.
killing and Patriots like
Hey, and then Dante Fowler, bruh, like he was an early first round pick they got in the trade from Twan's Jacksonville Jaguars, and he's been excelling. He caused the I think interception, or was it a fumble? One of the two in this past game. So, and they got corners, Taqib, Alib, and what's his name?
Marcus
he
Peters.
believe.
Marcus Peters.
Marcus Peters. And Joyner's serviceable at the nickel, so they got that Roby Coleman tackling ass motherfucker too, so with all those four plus they got athletic linebackers, I think they'll be all right, as far as defending the Patriots. And I don't know if the Patriots they locked down Tyreek Hill a little bit, so they may be able to put some shit on your boy. I can't think of his name. The ex-Patriot.
Brandon Cooks.
So
But they got Brandon Cooks, Sammy Watkins,
Sammy Watkins, boy, they don't.
Cooper Kupp.
Sammy Watkins.
Not
Sammy
Sammy
Watkins.
Watkins. Rashawn Woods, my bad. Not Sammy. Sammy in fucking
Hey, bruh.
Kansas City.
Hey, too many beers is in rotation.
Right.
What did you call him?
Who?
The dude Woods.
Rashawn?
His
Ray
name is
Sean?
not Rashawn Woods, bro.
See, you gonna call any black dude Rashawn?
Rashawn. You just gonna call him Rashawn? No, for real. His name is it's not Rashawn Woods.
What is it?
Robert Woods, bro.
Close
Same
enough.
difference.
No, it's not, man.
Woods.
R Woods, surviving R Woods. To me, I think,
Oh,
I think
Jesus.
I think the Rams need to be as physical as they always been. Marcus Peters, Aqib Talib, they're physical corners, and right now the microscope is on them because they just got away with a blatant pass interference. So I don't want them to shy away from being physical like they always are in punking receivers, because they're gonna need it. And it's also, the book is out that if you can get to Brady, then he becomes a little bit rattled back there in the pocket. It's hard to do because he gets the ball off quick. He checked to quick slants and stuff like that. But if Aaron Donald, who's unblockable, can get to him, and plus the DBs are physical, they have a good shot. That is going to be their chance to not let up, because they have the microscope on them of a blatant pass interference they just got away with.
Well, what's great about the Rams is typically if you have, rush in to get to the quarterback, it takes them, 2.5 to 3 seconds to get back there. And by that time, Brady got the ball off. With them having Sue and Aaron Donald, they're going to be able to push the pocket back right into Brady's face. And he typically struggles with the pressure up the middle. So, and that's the Rams' strength on defense. So
Right in the lap, B.
And
We'll see.
to me, obviously the Patriots have Tom Brady, so that's their key to victory. But to me, you should pay close attention to, I think it was the last fourth quarter possession that Jared Goff had when the Saints sent everybody. He fucking panicked, bro. He panicked in that moment and threw a crazy out to nobody. So to me, if I'm the Patriots, I'm still sending house to a young quarterback like Jared Goff, because he has shown that he's not poised enough to handle it. Damn, he's spilling shit. Too many in rotation.
He tripping.
But it's going to be a great Super Bowl. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know who's throwing the party nationwide. You throwing the party over here?
It's whatever. I don't give a fuck.
As long as you cooking, bro. You the one got the gift. To shift a little bit to basketball, Zion Williamson, a dude has been killing it. And I saw some talks about his, I guess, the type of player he's going to be at the next level. There's comparison of Charles Barkley, of course. There's been a comparison of a more gifted Draymond. I've seen that's out there. And obviously when you
that's disrespectful.
When you got that stature, they always say LeBron. But do you think Zion Williamson is a generational player to where he can make a team a contender within the first 3 years of his being in the league? What do you think he brings to be like, okay, with this one guy, we can go all the way? Because I'm not seeing it. I definitely think he's top pick, but I just don't see a generational player to where, once he gets on your squad, because I thought about, when I first heard it, I thought about Anthony Davis, who is a generational player, and he still is yet to make the Pelicans a championship squad, as gifted as he is. So if he can't do it, then I don't see Zion being able to do that.
It's hard for bigs to be that, like, franchise-changing player immediately because they don't have the ball in their hands 90% of the time. Like, they need a point guard or just a wing player in general to bring the ball up the court, throwing the ball in the post. And when I'm looking at Zion, I think he's a bigger, athletic version of Charles Barkley. He's not really.
Can we go Sean Kemp? Can we go Larry Johnson? Anywhere?
I think Charles Barkley. But right now he's not a knockdown 3-point shooter. He can handle the ball, but he's not a LeBron to where he's going to be like your point forward. He's not going to be a guy that's going to average 7-8 assists. And this,
Zebo?
You know what's funny though?
Can I get an athletic Zebo?
LeBron coming into the league, like his handle was super sus, but he had the vision and the ability to get to spots to create openings. So I don't think, like, when you say LeBron handling, I don't think he has the playmaking ability LeBron has, but he can dribble better than LeBron did at 18. To me.
I can't even think that far to
I know, but
that.
I'm just saying, from what I've seen, like, that's my opinion on it. And I think LeBron was a streaky shooter coming in, like out of high school.
Yeah, Zion too.
Zion's similar. So I would say they're pretty level on that.
So wait, are you going LeBron comparison?
I'm just saying.
Or what?
He brought up LeBron.
Well, I say he's not. He don't have all those skills. And the skill set is LeBron, to where he could be just an all around player and he can dictate everything on the floor. Like, he's gonna be a post player, a high post. A guy that can step out and knock down a three occasionally. I think he's gonna be a dominant player in the NBA. He's gonna be
But you got him at a 4?
I got him as a tweener. Like, I think,
Three,
it's a 4. I think it's a 4. Like, right now he's not a 3. He can't handle the ball good enough.
The way the
he can't
small
shoot
ball
good enough.
they'll throw him at 5 sometimes.
Let me say this.
He's
though.
gonna be a 4.
Let me say this. How tall is Ben Simmons?
Ben Simmons is like 6'8", 6'9".
How tall is Zion?
6'7".
All right, so Ben Simmons can't shoot to save my life, your life, anybody's life. And so I understand Ben Simmons is like really nice with the passing, with the playmaking ability. But I think if a guy is able to score points on a Ben Simmons level and contribute, I think Zion is definitely capable because he's a more willing shooter than Ben Simmons ever has been and probably ever will be.
Oh, he's already a better scorer than Ben Simmons.
Yeah, so I just think that he's going to contribute in a different way than Ben Simmons, but maybe just as much or more.
Are you giving him generational player?
Yes,
status?
I am.
No, he is going to be a generational player. He's going to be a great player, I believe. He has a Hall of Fame arc, so he is that good. He's not the guy, like, you can't put him on your team and say, boom, we're a playoff team. You're going to have to get a good point guard, a good wing player, and really build a team around him to get to the next level. Like LeBron, like right now, LeBron, you could throw him on any fucking team in the league, and they're going to contend for the playoffs, get in the playoffs and actually contend for a fucking championship.
Yeah.
I don't see Zion ever being that type of player.
At
least not right now.
Is anybody else in the league
I'm about to say, is anybody?
It's a few. It's a few. I mean, KD.
No. Okay.
KD is one.
You put KD anywhere in their title contender?
Yes, I believe so. You put
No,
KD on
fam.
any fucking team, they're gonna contend.
I don't
Throw
really
KD
know
on the
about
Cavs
that.
right now.
They're gonna contend.
Nah, bro.
They're gonna contend.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
He won the title contender with Russell Westbrook.
They did. They went to one.
One.
And the only reason they didn't go to more is fucking injuries.
Okay, sure. All right,
They
they
was
weren't
up 3-1. They was
consistent.
up 3-1.
I don't.
What's I'm saying? OKC was up 3-1 nationwide.
That was it. That was in the Western Conference Finals, right? That means they're contending for a fucking champion.
Yeah,
It ain't
yeah.
like they got put out in the first round.
They be getting ousted in the second round though a lot.
And anytime that happened, they had injuries. Either Russ was injured or KD was injured.
Exactly. So the point proven is that he's not that guy.
Exactly. If he can't take Maynard by himself,
LeBron would have took all them teams
you know what I'm saying?
straight up. We know that for sure.
I think we talked about last week that we didn't think Zion should shut it down. So
Yeah, that's bitch asses.
especially like I want to see him in March Madness. Don't be Pippen. Don't be putting that in the air to tell him shut it down.
Right, bro.
I want to see how this
Putting
shit
all that
play out.
negativity in the atmosphere.
Now I'm gonna tell you who got game I'm not high on that. Now that we're in this conversation is
Dude from
RJ
Indiana?
Barrett.
Oh,
No, RJ Barrett.
okay.
Like he's a good player, but they elevated him because he reclassified, so they put him at number one ahead of Zion. I haven't been impressed with his game, to be honest. Like he forced
So
a
you
lot of
saying
shit.
RJ was supposed to be a junior this year or
Yeah,
senior in high school?
yeah. RJ should be a senior right now.
Hey, boy, if he was in high school and then he played next year,
Right,
I'm talking about baskets, bro.
but
He might hit 50 a night.
like he's a good player. I just don't think he's number one player. Like he's definitely a top 5, top 10 pick.
Top 10, no, he's top 3. RJ Barrett will give you baskets. Like he's not the Muhammad of this class.
Like
Shabazz.
No, that's exactly
No,
what the fuck he
never.
is.
No, he's not.
No.
he's not.
I'm sorry, not Shabazz. Tyreek Evans. He's Tyreek Evans. That's exactly what the
I
fuck
don't know,
he is.
bro. I think he's way better than both of those guys.
Nah.
Shabazz, we used to talk
Yeah,
about him all the time.
Shabazz
I used to
was
tell
overrated.
y'all like, hey, bro, he's not that good.
Hey, Shabazz had so much buzz, bro.
Bruh.
Yeah, he was definitely overrated, but his game actually reminds me of Tyreek fucking Evans. They both fucking lefties. They force shit to the rim, streaky shooters. That's what he is, bro.
I don't know, man.
Don't get me wrong. He's a fucking great player. I just don't see him being that guy to where, okay, we're going to draft him and we're about to make the playoffs for the next 10 years. I don't see RJ
While
Barrett
we're
being
on
that
it,
player.
because I know y'all, well, at least you nationwide, Ohio State basketball fan. Also, are you
4 straight elbows, bro.
Anybody-
They took 4 straight people's elbows today,
what today?
or yesterday, whatever.
Anybody from there looking pretty good?
We got a 3 out of the top 36 coming next year, though. You hear me?
Oh, yeah, our recruiting class next year is pretty
Okay,
good.
solid.
We got a kid on the team currently named Luther Muhammad.
Luther Head.
He's not a guy that's gonna leave after this year,
You
but
call him Luther Head?
like, he's a guy that's gonna have pro
Wait,
potential.
Nationwide brought out Natron memes the other day in the group chat.
I
bro.
was like, damn, that's like a Mookie Blaylock
Right,
reference.
like,
That's
he
one of the
brought out-
names that you'll never forget.
I was expecting the Keenan McCardell and or the
Hey.
Fred Taylor, but he brought out Natron.
Hey, shit, that's the last time it was actually a good team. So I'm like, I don't know.
Like,
But nah, Luther Muhammad,
They ain't bring out Bobby Brister for the Broncos. So.
he's a guy that's gonna have pro potential after 3-4 years of college. But we don't have any one and dones on the team.
So, question: Do y'all think Kyrie thinks he's LeBron now? LeBron of the Celtics, since he came out and said he called LeBron and apologized, but he said it publicly. Do you think it was a deeper meaning, or he wanted a reaction from his squad by publicly saying he called LeBron to apologize for being a young guy that didn't understand how to make it to the championship?
I think so. I think it was more so not that he wanted a reaction from him. I think he wanted to publicly let everybody know that, yeah, I said some shit the other day that I regret. And I think that was the easiest way for it to come off is him being a good guy. Like, he's humble now. You know what I mean? If it felt genuine, so, I think that was more his plan.
I just think his growth and maturation on him as the star player was all about him maybe early in his career, and now that he is the leader on his own team, or he is a star player on his own team, he's trying to grow into that leadership role, and he realized that, it's a little harder than what the fuck I thought. I could see all the weight that LeBron was carrying, and, I got to adjust to that.
And see, That's what I thought. That I agree with the growth because Charles Barkley tried to spin it and say these guys were one game away from going to the finals last year without Kyrie because he's hurt. But I think this season makes it a little different because they were one game away. Then that means everybody is now on the court for self. Scary Terry is out there like, I was balling last year. I ain't playing back up. I was balling. I need to get my shots.
And all that could be true.
Jason Tatum probably feeling like, I'm ready to take my next step. He was working off season with Kobe. Jaylen Brown ready to take his next step. Marcus Smart is hurting the team more than helping, I believe, these days. So I think at that moment, Kyrie is like, y'all show that y'all can do it because of last year, but this year, everybody got a whole new agenda.
Yeah.
And we got to get shit focused.
I mean, think about it like Jaylen Brown out there trying to get it. Everybody trying to get their buckets because they all want money. They all want a contract. So it's like, we got to figure out a way to all look good together collectively and win at the same time.
Kyrie calling LeBron, it was major, especially, how they run it. He was with Kevin Love when he called him. But it was major because for him to have that self-evaluation to know that he matured, I don't think he needed to even make that phone call to come to the realization that, damn, this is what LeBron went through. So that's where the speculation comes in. Because he took the initiative to make the phone call, is he on his way to being a Laker? You know how they say, the Laker fans, they think everybody on their way. So do the Knicks.
Nah. It just opens up the possibility that him and LeBron maybe have reconciled behind the scenes. So that now imagine you can like, okay, if we fell with KD and Kawhi, maybe Kyrie is something that we could look into. I mean, it's not something that I don't think anyone can like L.A. Kyrie. You can't put those two together. Like, it's no concrete evidence or rumors floating around, but it's a possibility.
But is he going next year?
I don't know. I'll put it like this. If he's gone, I think it's going to be because Boston feel like we don't want to give him this super max because we have enough talent to survive, and we're going to have to pay all these guys in another year or two anyways. So I think it's going to be more of Boston not wanting him versus him up and leaving on his own agenda.
The more the season goes on, I'm thinking he's staying.
I think he wants to stay because where else are you going to go?
Unless, because I know everybody was thinking him and Jimmy Butler teaming up, but I think Jimmy Butler is becoming a headache too.
I don't see where else you're going to go. Like, because even if you go to New York with Jimmy Butler, if Kawhi stay out east, you're not going to be better than them. I don't think you're going to be better than the Sixers. I think Boston is your best opportunity once they figure it out. It's a lot of players that
go to the Bulls with Zion.
And let's not take nothing away from Kyrie either, because let's not forget that Boston was the number one seed before he went down. So they were just a much better team last year. They had a lot, better continuity and chemistry. And this year they just haven't been playing at their level yet because maybe guys do have their own agenda and they have to learn how to play together once you add Kyrie back into the lineup and Gordon Hayward. So, I mean, they figured it out.
So I brought up the Fire Festival earlier today as another movie I watched while I was on the couch eating my chicken or my turkey chili, and binge watching Netflix docs on a snow day. So watching that festival, I kind of realization. Number one, I don't believe it started off as being a scam, although it's now known as the biggest scam in history, the biggest okie doke. But I don't want to give any spoilers, so I won't go into detail about the specifics of the documentary, but I'll go into what I took away from it. And number one, it is everybody's desire to be popular. Like, popularity used to just be in the social conforms of where you at, but now you want to be popular on social media. And hell, some of the things I saw in there, I kind of understand, man. If you can get 250K to post your hashtag like Kendall Jenner, I guess you do want to have some type of influence on social media. But for something like that to happen, everybody to think that they're getting a private jet to this private island to stay in cabanas, and stay in villas, is it gullible, or is it like, hell, this is what was advertised, it just didn't come out to be true?
They
Maybe there should
all-
have been some vetting that was taken
It
place.
should have been
all
vetting.
was
Yeah.
ready for their Instagram pictures,
Yeah, that's it.
bro. They was like, we about to have a cabana on the beach with bitches.
Like, and if it's for a low ball price, you're like, hold on, man, it's too good to be true.
Yeah, because they didn't even sell the music festival. They didn't sell like, oh, come to this. We got Blink 182. We got all these artists. They sold the experience. Come to this event. You got cabanas, villas, bottle service. Celebrities will be here. They didn't even sell the performances be held because shit, realistically there was no performances actually going on.
Nah,
It's Ja Rule, baby.
It definitely should have been more vetting because, like from what I heard about it, you got a very great package for a super low ball price.
Yeah, like
And it's like, yo, come on, man, this is really not
there,
adding up.
there was someone that tried to expose that it wasn't real,
Yeah.
and motherfuckers wasn't believing him.
And like for people, like it's not like festivals just don't pop up. Like we see new festivals all the time, fucking Made in America, South by Southwest, whatever.
Yeah.
Name them. Pick a city, name them. Like so, the shit,
Coachella and
yeah.
all that.
So shit happens all the time where festivals just pop up and they grow in popularity over years. So maybe this was initially a viable idea, and then they're like, I'm about to scale them. Let me get this shit off on people.
Man, we'll talk more once y'all see it, but yeah, it definitely started off as probably like something legit, and then it just quickly turned into, to me, in my opinion, when y'all watch it,
shit.
y'all may think it was a scam from day one, but to me, I just really thought like initially it had good intentions. But that led me to a post I put up on our page, which was another article that I read about social media and whether it should be added to the school's curriculum. So that article talked about social media from the standpoint of, obviously, when we were young, teachers would say this is going on your permanent record, but social media, it really does go on your permanent record. People will go back and they'll find things. So do you all believe that schools should start to add social media into the curriculum? I think this article touched on that. Although social media sites have an age limit of 13, they find that kids as young as 9 years old have social media.
Yeah, I know a kid that's like 10 that got one for real. And for real, was some ill shit on there, like some wild shit. Like, so I ain't gonna put that person's kid out here on the airwaves like that, but yeah, I don't know if funding allows us to have time for a social media class because they ain't got time to teach a motherfucker taxes. They ain't got time to teach a motherfucker about a lot of basic life skills that I think, we need to be learning in our primary schools. So, ideally, yes, I would love it. If there was the funding and the time and whatever, yeah, hell yeah, teach them all about it. You and that shit got to be in there teaching them, like, oh man, this is how you get 100,000 followers and shake that ass. You know what I'm saying? But you can't teach them the consequences of it, and you can have, legit examples. Like this guy, you got people come in and say, man, I wanted my dream job. I had all the qualifications and this and that, yada, yada. But shit, I didn't look at my IG before I went into this interview or my Facebook, and they looked it up and they showed me face to face. Said, we definitely wanted to hire you, but you said you was a real ass nigga on the block yesterday. And it's like, we can't have you here being that. You know what I mean? So we don't know if we can do that. If we can hire you. So, you know how they have like Real Talk Wednesdays and things like that. So yeah, I think it can be productive, and I do think it can be a tool.
Nationwide.
Yeah, it should be taught. I don't think it should be a fucking course. Like,
Jen A, so you're on elective.
yeah, not even fucking, like, I don't think it should be an actual class, but it should be more of a lesson within a class, in my opinion. Because we see time after time of people pulling up old tweets and posts and shit from 5 years ago, 10 years ago that come back and hunt people today. So I think we should be taught in school of do's and don'ts of how to use social media. I think that's something that should be taught in school as a lesson. I don't think, you need a full class on that. But I think the more of the onus should be on parents teaching their kids how to use social media, the do's and don'ts, and even beyond that, how it could affect people's self-esteem and shit like that. Because we have a lot of people that's, flashy for social media or compare their life to social media. I don't think school can teach you not to buy in all that shit. That has to be parents.
Because today I saw something that said so many people follow celebrities that they forget their own life,
right?
Because they so busy admiring a celebrity's life that they don't even appreciate their own.
Bit confused. Yeah.
And then we gotta be celebrities. You just comparing yourself to the person live down the street who got all the J's, cars, clothes, whatever, and you don't realize like them motherfuckers broke. All the money they get, they spend. Like, stop comparing yourself to other people. And I don't think school can teach you the lessons in terms of self-esteem. I think that has to come from your family, your support system.
So when I saw this, I had a cold world. So when I saw this,
hey Johnny,
love
key to your
yours.
story is love yours.
Big facts. When I saw this article, my initial thought was, I don't think we should be spending classroom time talking about social media. But then I took a second thought and I said, well, maybe that's how grandparents thought about computers when they wanted to introduce computers into school. Because as cool as computers are now, when they first were invented, it wasn't nothing but just a cursor on a black screen. So in their perspective, it's like, what can that computer do for me that I can't already do myself if it's just a cursor on a black screen? My second thought was, maybe that's just how baby boomers thought about the internet.
Right.
Like, why do we need to introduce the internet? So maybe attacking social media in the classroom is the way to do it. Instead of hiding it, instead of trying to act like it doesn't exist, maybe you do teach a course. There's a few ways you can do it, of the confines of anti-bullying, how you can bully someone on social media and lead them to suicide, because that has been an epidemic. You can also attack it from the standpoints of business, how to market yourself on social media, the positive things of social media, how to grow a following and things like that. But where it becomes difficult to teach in the classroom, to me, is that social media has no principles. With anything you teach, business has principles. Integrity, honor your word, a handshake signals an agreement. Math, it has basic principles. Physics has basic principles. Social media has no principles. There's nothing you can teach me today about what I put on my social media that will tell me what people will be outraged about 5 years from now. You don't know what social media is willing to accept. You have someone, boot gang, who goes into stores, create chaos, steal something, and run out. Social media has looked at that and said, let's pay this guy $10,000 for a walkthrough at the club, because we're willing to accept him acting nuts on social media. It has no principles to where you can stand on to then create a curriculum. That's where I see the difficulty coming from, because there's no basic principles where you can even start from with a class like that.
It's principles in life in general, to where, like, in terms of not posting shit, inappropriate shit.
But you don't know what's inappropriate. A couple years ago, it'd have been cool for you to post R. Kelly. It's not acceptable today. But they would go back to your couple years ago and then hold you accountable to that.
I know you had a Twitter status that said temperatures rising.
Lil Wayne had a song that said, "Get money, fuck bitches."
But
bro, social media will tolerate the bitch word. I will say that.
No, I get that. Like, just the everyday average. That's more of culture. I don't think like comparing principles to culture, what's acceptable culturally versus principles and morals. Fuck bitches getting money. That's not something that, in terms of morals.
Now, guys, let me
verbalized
retract
wrong,
this.
but it's I guess a business mindset.
Let me retract this though. Let me retract this. See, now it's different because we went from, our era was no social media to social media, and it's booming now. So if you brought this class out today, there is a principle of, this is what they'll come get your ass for. I understand it can evolve, right? I understand that.
I was going to say, I don't think in any class today they would tell you to be boom gang. But it has been successful for him.
I know. No, but I'm saying, though, as far as, but you can apply that to non-social media things also, like selling dope.
But even
saying?
Dope Gang got some principles, though.
No, I'm
Dope
just saying.
Gang definitely got some principles.
No, those are other principles. But I'm talking about as far as, it's like, you can sell dope for a little bit, you know what I'm saying, and then become legit. like that can be pretty much what Boot Gang was doing. You know what I'm saying? He was out here breaking the rules, breaking laws, and then he did it long enough to where he got famous and pretty much the comparison is you got up enough to where you can legitimize your money. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I get what you're saying as far as there are no principles, because just like when Twitter first came out, we used to write some wild shit, and then now it's like, oh, that wasn't appropriate.
And it's very fickle because social media pretends to be anti-bullying unless we agree to bully you. I don't want to hear you bully anybody unless we agree to do it to a Kardashian. You know what I'm saying?
Unless we do it to Brian Williams.
Right. Shit. But I'm just saying, like, it's a bipolar society for sure. So maybe it'll be a good idea to have a course, but very difficult.
Tony.
Difficult don't mean impossible. Meech, try to cue up some regular check-in music as we talk about AB real quick.
Oh shit.
All bark, no bite.
All bark, no bite. I didn't get a chance to see the fight, but I seen enough highlights to know that he didn't win.
Oh God, man.
Oh, he didn't. I seen enough to know he didn't win. Do you believe that it is time for him to humble himself?
Oh, it should have been time like 4 fights ago.
Hell no, it
you
ain't. Man,
ready?
no,
You
it's
ready
not.
for this? You ready for this?
It should have been time. Hold
Not
on.
just yet.
Oh,
It should have been time 4 fights ago, man. Like he's what 3-3-1 in his last.
I'm 3-3-1 in my last 5, but I know in my last 6 I'll beat your ass.
His last 3 fights, it was what 2 losses and a draw or some shit. AB, like he okay. This is what I feel about AB. Honestly, he's no longer a pay-per-view fight as the headliner. Like, okay,
Says who?
me. If people are still buying AB fights, you're fooling. If he's the headliner, like, and he's the main person of the fight. Like, if he go fighting Terrence Crawford is the headliner. You know what I mean? Sean Porter is the headliner. So if he go fight those people, those top tier boxers.
See, I think that's where boxing suck at though, because like they should be marketing Terrence Crawford.
Yeah,
but AB,
yeah,
He's a hell of a marketer himself.
he markets himself to where it's like you're gonna watch the fight just to see him lose, but it's gonna be a huge payday.
man. I get what you're saying because he is pay per view by all his antics and shit. But
Yeah, you want to see what he gonna say after the fight.
But like
you more intrigued
he should
by
no
that.
longer be a pay per view fight. He should be a fucking undercard, bro. Like he shouldn't get any more title opportunities until he win another 3 or 4 fights in a row. I'm tired of seeing him talk all this shit and get in the ring and don't back it up.
Man,
He big man.
he gonna continue to talk his trash because it's working.
And I'm doing it for the hood.
It don't matter what his record is.
2-5.
You just want to see his interviews leading up to the fight.
I
You wanna
don't
see his
know.
weigh in.
He said, I don't know.
It's like we just talked about the antics on social media. It's working, bro. It's working. That's the principles I'm talking about. But he
Man.
got to do that because if he was just a humble fighter, nobody would talk about him. Terrence Crawford, ain't nobody talking about him. Deontay Wilder, he's created a character of himself, the Bronze Bomber, and now he got a meme to this day. You know what I'm saying? So that's he getting that type of fame. But boxing ain't pubbing him.
I mean, I get what you're saying. Like you do got to promote yourself and market yourself, but I feel like you have to also back it up. Like the Floyd is promoting himself to the best,
And even his
to the
fights
highest
is
level
boring, but
of any fucking boxer. His fights are boring, but he winning. You know what I mean? He like fucking AB is scared to throw punches. Like he
landed one in the 12th round,
bro, and he won.
And he won in his head.
I landed the most like cleanest
What you mean? I
shots.
beat him. I beat him.
Bro,
Everybody know I
his
beat him.
most punches in the round was 8. Most landed punches was 8 punches in the fucking round. You talking about you won, bro? What the fuck are you talking about? Fuck out of here.
And now he trying to claim victory over the.
Over the interviewer.
I already know what you was doing.
But they said the interviewer had hands back in the day, though, so they ain't sure he would have won that fight. But yeah, you can go ahead and play the music now, bro. All right. Cue that joint up.
AB.
About billions.
It's fight night, guys. Let's go.
All bullshit.
So Nationwide, we gonna start with you, bro. So Carmelo is no longer on the Houston Rockets. He's now going to be on the market. Record to check it.
Check.
So Carmelo was traded to the Bulls, but it's going to be a buyout. So now he's going to be a free agent and can sign with any team. Where do you think he's landing, man?
He's going to land with the Lakers. I'm not sure if it's a good thing for the Lakers or a bad thing because he has looked horrible in his last, 2 stops.
You seem so certain on that.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a Laker. That's where he wants to be. Anyhow, if it's anyone that can save his career, it's going to be LeBron. If he can't get back to just playing at a decent level with the Lakers and LeBron, then his career is done.
Beach.
Man, Melo, dog, it's like it's a day late and a dollar short. So go sit your old ass down.
So Cartier, we got a message in the group chat that let us know that iPhones are now the feds. Record to check it.
We gotta check this one.
So if you have AirPods, I'm gonna let you know a feature. I don't have any, but our homies and friends in the group chat, homies. I'm not from LA. In the group chat, let us know that AirPods have a feature to where if they leave their phone in another room, they can go to a listening mode and listen to the conversation that's going on in that room. Record to check that.
I'm checking all this, bro. I need the information. I told you I need it all.
You think that's a good feature to have, though?
Oh, you saying listening?
No, I'm just asking you to elaborate on your thoughts on that feature on for the AirPods.
I mean, but I don't understand the feature really. I'm sorry.
Okay, so you have headphones in your ear.
Yeah.
You got your headphones in your ear, but you don't have your phone in your possession.
Got you.
The phone is upstairs.
Yeah.
You can listen to the room upstairs while you're down here.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you can just tap in and listen.
That's some wild shit, boy. Hey, that's deep. I mean, it's gonna sell some phones, but it's good for Apple or some AirPods.
You digging that feature, Nationwide?
Nah, that's some bullshit.
You gonna be like, man, where my girl phone at?
Yeah, that's some bullshit.
Where her phone at? I ain't
Be
saying
careful,
nothing.
fellas.
You remember that skit on Key and Peele where they looking around like, bitch? That's what everybody gonna be doing.
Be careful.
So, Nationwide, Boogie made his debut. What does this mean for the Golden State Warriors? This is good news or bad news, man? Regular check it.
Man, it's great news. Check it.
So, now that Boogie has made his debut, there's talks of him adding to that splash, brother, because he can hit those threes, and that now it is really unfair in the West, man.
No, it is. If you just watch the Warriors, they've really been on cruise control. Players have been injured. You know, they've been up and down for the first part of the season, and they're only in the number 1 seed in the West still. Clay is back rolling. You add Boogie, and if he can get back to the level that he played at that first night and could, play consistently at that level, he's a guy that can knock down shots, give him a little post presence. Defensively, he's not really a shot blocker, but he's one of those type of guys that's a shot changer because he's so fucking big. Pause.
Okay, pull up.
But it's unfair. It's unfair that they're the best team and they're gonna win a fucking championship again.
Meet, you agree with that?
Nah, man. The Lakers got this, B.
So Nike has another basketball shoe that's set to release, and this one involves a whole hell of a lot of technology. Regular check it, Meet.
I gotta check this one.
So Nike is releasing a self-tying shoe. This is going to be their second release of the self-tying shoe. This one comes with a lot of cool features. You can adjust the lights, and it has an app. So you get on your app, you slip your foot in the shoe, you get on the app, and you tell the app to tie your shoes up, and it just makes it tighter. Or if you don't have your phone near you, you can press a button on the side of the shoe, and it makes it tighter. And you can adjust the tightness to your comfort. Nike is trying to transcend the game, but do you see players on the court with a self-tying shoe like that?
Absolutely. Jason Tatum was out there getting after it in them. So, yeah.
What if you come home and you got your skinny jeans on and you need to run to – no, fuck that. You come home, you got your romper on, and you're trying to get to the restroom. You can't get your shoes off because you don't know where your phone at.
That's what the button on the side for.
Hey, Nike's on a whole different level, man. They keep innovating and shit, but I just need to get my hands on those shoes so I can resell them because the fucking resale market is going to be great.
How long before the self-tying Yeezy Boost?
Oh, that ain't going to happen.
They probably got that patent.
Oh, for sure. 100%.
So, Nationwide, a Cowboys receiver has the nerve to call out the Cowboys in the way that they're using him? Regular check it.
Check it.
So Cole Beasley believes he
fuck.
needs more touches. Cole Beasley believes he need more than the 92 touches he got this season. Regular check it, man.
Cole Beasley, you're a slot receiver. You run your slot routes, and the ball will come to you when we need to throw it to the slot.
What other team is throwing the ball to him 92 times?
Patriots.
Right, the Patriots. That's what it basically saying. That's what
I
it's
need
saying.
to go to fucking Patriots.
I need to go to the Patriots where they treat white receivers nice. But
Nice.
he definitely not gonna get 92 touches there.
Nice though.
Man, be happy
Hey.
being a slot receiver.
You know what has it come to when you getting called out by Cole Beasley though? Like some people shouldn't be allowed to just approach the coach and be like, I don't like my role.
Hey, 92 touches is some shit,
Is he the Jimmy Butler?
bruh. Move on, bruh. You did not just ask that.
You know, Jimmy Butler go team to team like, yo, I'm the guy. Run
You-
through me.
You wow.
I'm Kyle Watson.
You-
Kyle Lee Watson.
I ain't seen it.
You wow.
I really ain't
B.
seen him complain before that, so I ain't gonna throw him in the Jimmy Butler category.
So anyways, before we get on out of here, is there anything else we didn't touch on? Anything y'all want to hit on before we roll?
Oh man.
This sound like Bone and Biggie at the end?
Nah, that was my girl Kiki.
Nationwide, you
me.
beatboxing. What you
You
got?
boxing on your hoes. I ain't got shit, man. I think we
beatboxing
touched
on your
everything that happened this week. You did?
You said what?
I think we touched everything that happened this week.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I'm probably gonna ride home, listen to J. Cole. Man, I'm happy that he got something on the way for us though.
Oh man, hopefully I just need to know when this Revenge of the Dreamers drop. I think.
Oh.
Which I think about that. Hold on, we do got some.
Oh,
like-
you got a Revenge of the Dreamers. Who's all on it?
Well, I don't know who the fuck is ultimately
But
going
it's
to be all
Dreamville.
on it, but it's Dreamville and invited artists.
I mean, as long as
So-
this music don't
so
put me to
th-
sleep or in a somber
they-
mood, man.
They did a 10-day recording session there for people that don't know. Where Dreamville, they invited a whole bunch of other artists, Wale, fucking Rick Ross,
Oh, yeah. Give me a different
fucking
sound.
21 Savage, all the who's of the fucking rap game today, all the producers and shit, and they was just collaborating. What y'all think about that?
I think that's gonna be an incredible album, especially because you're gonna get some different sounds. If it was all J. Cole produced, again, I'm a huge fan of J. Cole, but if it's all J. Cole produced, it was gonna be one somber mood through the entire track list. But if you're gonna get a mix of Rick Ross and 21 Savage, and then a different mixture of producers, hearing that producers were there is enough to make me be excited
I think
about
No
it.
ID was there. I
Oh,
think
hell
the
yeah,
Justice
yeah,
League.
yeah.
I'm looking forward to this because I personally feel J. Cole is the best rapper in the game today, lyrically. A lot of people don't fuck with him because it's a production, because he produces his own music. But once you get him on these fucking
So
tracks,
he
with the-
stole from Soulja Boy too?
Drake.
Cole.
Drake.
But once you get him on the track with these all-star producers, I think that's going to elevate Cole to a whole fucking different level than what he already is at. So I'm looking forward to this shit.
What do you think of Future calling out Russell Wilson?
I think that's some bullshit.
He just a jealous stepdaddy to his own
Like,
kid.
His own kids.
Like, no, me being a single father or whatever, or we co-parent, whatever you want to call it.
Does she listen? She definitely listens to the show. Hey, I appreciate the listeners.
But I get
Record to check that.
I get
Okay.
no, I get him making a point to where it's like I want to meet the other person, you know what I mean, before you introduce him to my son, yada yada yada, whatever. I get that part of it, but you can't be calling. I disagree with you calling Russ out for marrying her and
Right.
Wait, no, but
and-
How
wait,
dare
his,
you treat her right?
his insult was, "You do
What
anything
did
she
say?
asks."
Like, come on, man. That's her
Right.
fucking husband. What is he supposed to do? Throw her, like, dog her, nigga? Like, so I didn't agree with that.
When he said that would happen with me, and it'd be like, and you wonder why she's gone.
Like, and then not only that, it's like, okay, this is a guy that's gonna be around your son all the fucking time. Hopefully you will want somebody that's gonna respect him and protect your son
Right.
and raise him and set a positive example for him. So that was some sucker shit in my opinion. But I do agree with at least like let me and Russ sit down, talk man to man before you have him around my son. I do agree with that part. Man.
According to her, he turned down the invitation, but who knows? Who knows if it was before or after or whatever.
Johnny, that's my hoe. That's
He
my
thought he
hoe,
was gonna get
too.
her back for sure.
This song got some real meaning to it right here.
And see, and he wondered why he can't call her wife. So that's it. Again, I appreciate y'all for listening. Make sure y'all follow us on Instagram, the.itl. The Instagram page has been rebranded. So I would say we got a rebrand on that joint. It's a lot of content on there. A lot of things for you to join in
hit the IG story, man. It's always some good ass content
There's always
on there.
something on that joint.
Something nice and juicy.
But I'm Johnny Will. I'm signing out.
Yo, it's Nationwide Nate signing out, and James Harden still getting bullshit calls.
It's Cartier, man. We sitting here watching this Rockets Knicks highlights. James the Beard Harden dropped 61 on their ass. I don't know who won or lost, but we appreciate y'all listening to the show. And it looks like the Rockets won by 4. Fuck them motherfuckers. ITL out.
Tell you something about my life in every single chain in my diamond rings. The way you walking, the way you talking, it's all because of me. And the way